Hey guys, hoping all is well with everyone. So in this video we're going to be continuing our read along of the Secret Zoo Raids and Rescues, and so today we'll be continuing with chapter 38 as we finished chapter 37 last time. And as always, please feel free to follow along, and I hope you enjoy the read today. Chapter 38, Escape from Waterford Zoo. Head to the far side of the zoo, Megan said, toward the water tower. Blizzard grunted and broke into a run. As his muscles quaked, so did Megan's, and the chameleons poked her as they struggled to hold on. They rounded a fountain with several statues of seals pointing their slender snouts toward the sky, then turned onto a long brick walkway. A camel exhibit blurred by, and then an empty gorilla yard. Through Blizzard's invisible body, Megan watched the powdery snow swirl. As Blizzard veered back onto a long stretch of grass, she sensed something beside her, and under the drum of Blizzard's steps, she heard a low rumble. Another animal on the run. Sara said, "Lily? That you?" "Roger that, girl," a voice beside Megan answered. Something snorted and blew snot into the air. Little big. "Richie?" Megan said. "You there?" "I'm here," Richie answered, his voice jittering. Together, the two animals circled a glass butterfly house and then veered past a brick building covered in a leafless web of ivy. As they ran across a garden, Blizzard left a 3-foot-high flower pot spinning like a top. At the end of a food court, they toppled tables and knocked benches into the air. Closed umbrellas twirled like giant batons, and crumpled napkins and half-eaten hamburgers exploded from garbage cans. As they headed back onto the main path, Megan heard a zipper open and turned to see a stack of paper spreading out behind Little Bighorn like the watery wake behind a speedboat. The flyers stuck to the sides of buildings, became entwined in bushes, and covered parts of the yard like fresh snow. In her head, Megan could see her words. "Free them, or we will." The winding chain-link fence came into view, moonlight glinting on the diamond patterns of its woven wire. Their truck was still parked in this small gravel lot, its big door open and waiting. As Blizzard neared it, Sara said, "Duck!" and Megan pressed her forehead against the bear's neck. She heard the rattle of a flimsy steel, then a light piece of fencing skipped across her back. Blizzard pounded up the loading ramp into the trailer, and as he swung around into the hollow space, Megan saw what he had done to the fence. A large steel piece was dangling off to one side, and an uprooted post was aimed at an angle toward the night sky like a telescope. The truck continued to bounce and rattle on its springs as Little Bighorn made his way into the trailer. Megan slid down Blizzard's side and felt Sara do the same. "Everyone okay?" someone asked, and Megan turned to see Solana. "I think so," Megan said. The benches rattled as the girls and Richie dropped into their former seats. They stayed invisible while waiting for the other specters to arrive. Megan stared out through the open loading door at a few distant houses and couldn't detect any activity. A minute went by, then another. Just when Megan worried that something might have happened to Kaleena and Jordyn, footsteps sounded against the loading ramp, and the presence of the remaining specters became obvious inside the trailer. With everyone accounted for, Sara rapped her knuckles against the forward wall of the trailer. The driver door creaked open and then gravel crunched as Mike made his way to the back of the truck. He reached up, grabbed the nylon strap, and pulled the door closed, delivering the girls and Richie into perfect darkness. As the truck pulled off onto the street, someone turned on the overhead lights. Megan opened the portal in her right pocket when she heard other specters doing it. Within seconds, the chameleons were gone and everyone, including Blizzard and Little Bighorn, was visible once more. Blizzard carefully lowered himself to his stomach and shifted his rump to one side to keep the weight off his injured leg. One of his patches of gauze was saturated in blood, the wound fresh again after his strenuous run. He rested his chin on his outstretched legs and half closed his eyes, his sides heaving up and down. Megan slid down her seat, leaned over, and lovingly stroked the top of the Blizzard's long neck, prompting the bear to completely close his eyes. Sara turned to Blizzard. She crossed her arms over her chest and shook her head. clearly disgusted by what had happened to him. "What do you think they'll do?" Solana asked out of the blue. Sara turned her head and realized Solana was speaking to her. "Who?" "The outsiders," Solana clarified. "When they find the flyers, what do you think they'll do?" Sara slouched in her chair and kicked her legs out straight. She grunted and said, "I could care less." Megan turned to Richie and briefly squeezed his hand. Then she tipped her head back against the wall, closed her eyes, and wondered about Noah and her best friend. Chapter 39. The Crabaquarium. Noah swam into the aquarium, dim light revealing that a dark tunnel extended from the back of it. He found his way by patting the concrete walls around him. Something slimy struck his face, and he hoped it had been seaweed rather than the stinging tentacle of a jellyfish. Something pinched his pants. A crab. Noah dragged it along. He needed air. He spotted a wavering point of light and swam to it with all his strength. Not a second too soon, he surfaced and sucked in a quick breath. He found himself waist deep in an aquarium that was easily 100 feet long. One side, as big as a movie screen, was made of glass, and Noah looked out into a corridor that was like the others he'd seen. As Ella surfaced beside him, another crab pinched his leg. Dozens of others were paddling around in the shallow water. "Crabaquarium," he breathed. Another crab pinched him, this time breaking through to his flesh, and Noah batted it away with the back of his hand. He looked around for an exit, and he couldn't find one. Then he walked to the front of the aquarium, put his hands on the glass, and pushed. The pain didn't budge. "There's no way out of here." Ella swiped her arm through the water at the crab that was getting way too close. "Maybe we should go back." Before Noah could respond, a small steel door dropped across the mouth of the tunnel that they'd swum through. Then, from down the corridor, a shadowy figure came walking. A single torch revealed a man with a fedora hat and a long, flowing trench coat. DeGraff. And I'll stop the video there, ending chapter 39. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video today, and I hope all is well. Please take good care of yourselves, and I look forward to seeing you guys next time, where we'll be continuing the Secret Zoo raids and rescues as we continue to get closer and closer to the conclusion of this story. But as you guys can see, there's still a lot to unravel. But please take good care of yourselves, and thank you so much for watching.